YouTube, Capital G here. So I'm doing another video in what is, I guess now a series called some of the most amazing Yu-Gi-Oh artwork that you'll ever see. And I'm showcasing three extremely talented artists who, I guess this series is mainly me showing artwork where these artists take these Yu-Gi-Oh cards that we know and love and they transform them into characters from anime and comic books and TV shows. And usually the artwork ends up being absolutely spectacular. I think that all of these artists are extremely talented, and I do have a favor if you guys are on DeviantArt, because I'll have links to all their DeviantArt pages, and you're registered there, you know, maybe just check out their artwork, leave a nice comment saying, you know, you're really talented or your artwork is amazing. I believe the third artist actually sells some of her artworks, so if you guys want some of these cards that she has made, you know, I'm not sure if you send her the card or if she just has extra copies, but you know, maybe you can contact her, get some of these for yourself so that, you know, maybe you can run them at your locals, impress people. You know, don't tell, I wouldn't go as far as to say, like, you know, tell the people at your locals like you did it, but you know, it's definitely something that you can show off, and I would really appreciate that, because I feel like artists who are this talented definitely deserve recognition, especially considering our second artist is actually deceased. She passed away a few months ago, and if you just left a nice comment saying, you know, you were very talented, rest in peace, or something like that, I'm pretty sure that her fiance would appreciate that. I think at their core, all talented artists want to receive recognition, even if it's not monetary. Just saying, you know, something nice like your artwork is very awesome. It's just like it makes them feel definitely justified. So first up, we have a Megazord that is definitely Gear Giant X. I feel like Gear Giant X is one of the ones that you'll probably see a lot as far as altered art. You know, you might even see like a Voltron or something like that. You'll probably see like Gundams. Now, personally, I love this because I kind of grew up in the Power Rangers era. I'm not talking about like this new school Power Rangers that my 6-year-old nephew watches. He thinks is new. I'm talking about like I grew up when Power Rangers was like first coming on TV, and old, you know, Blue Ranger like Billy and Tommy and stuff like that. So definitely love to see anything related to Power Ranger from the same artist. You guys are definitely gonna recognize this. This is a Sentinel from X-Men. I think Acid Golem was like, wasn't this the perfect card to do it as, because Acid Golem looks like a big bulky behemoth type monster, and when you think of that, it's like, that kind of, doesn't that sound kind of like a Sentinel? So this one looks really, really good. I remember watching the animated X-Men series as a kid, and Wolverine just chopped through these dudes like left and right, cutting their arms off. And then in Days of Future Past, the Sentinels were like buku strong and nobody could beat them. So I was like, wait, what? It was like a huge conflict there. I've always seen lots of Spore alternate arts, but this guy did a lot of really good ones. Starting off, we have probably one of the most recognizable, not just Pokemon, but like video game characters of all time, Pikachu. I remember my brother used to always, in original Smash Brothers, he used to beat the crap out of us with Pikachu. I used to seriously hate him, but I feel like the eyes really highlight Pikachu, because he's always, in the anime, he was always like a happy-go-lucky, joyous character. So I feel like Spore is a really good card for him. And then Squirtle. This is probably my favorite Pokemon of all time. And in the anime, Squirtle was just too cool, man. Starting out with the Squirtle squad, he had the stunner shade glasses, you know what I mean? Like, Squirtle was just too cool. And I like how he has his arms to the side. Like, you cannot tell me that this Squirtle right here does not have some serious swag. Squirtle is just a boss, and I think he's always going to be a boss. We have Bane, and this looks really good, because like you can look at this outside of the eyes, like you wouldn't even know that this was a Spore. Like the amount of detail that he put into the Bane mask and like the body and the armor and stuff like that, this looks absolutely great. It's crazy to see Spore can be so many different things. And of course, if you have Bane, you gotta have the dynamic duo to stop Bane, my favorite superhero of all time, Batman, looking like a straight up boss. I've always been a little indifferent about Robin, to be honest. Like, I always thought that Batman didn't need him, but you know, he's there. The artwork looks really cool, and he kind of, even with the Spore head with a little bit of like hair, he kind of looks just nerdy enough to pass off as Robin, because I've always thought that Robin was kind of just a little nerdy kid that kind of hung out with Batman. I'm talking like all the Robins. So next up we have, I love this one because Personally, I think that these are the two greatest Marvel villains of all time. And this dude right here, this is actually my favorite villain of all time. Batman is my favorite superhero. Doom is my favorite villain. Magneto and Dr. Doom. If you ask me who's the greatest Marvel villain of all time, like, you put these two basically in either order. I mean, you can interchange them. Magneto kind of wanting to kill all of humanity. Doom wanting to take over the entire world, has his own country. I guess maybe you could throw an honorable mention in there for Green Goblin as kind of like a third, but that would be the top of the food chain as far as Marvel villains go, like Doom, Magneto, and Green Goblin. I couldn't put anybody else at the top. This is our second artist, and she is really talented. And what I like about what she did is she actually has straight up card comparisons, so you can see the original card and then you can see what she did to it, the alternate artwork. I always like when somebody does an alternate art and they still have the monster in the same pose. To me, it makes a lot more sense. I forget what this guy's name is, like Rayquaza or something like that. I know you guys are gonna hate that, but I butcher some of these new Pokemon because, again, I stopped playing after Silver and Gold. This is definitely one of the newer ones. I see this guy all the time, so he has to be like the new age, like Mewtwo or a legendary Pokemon or something. Like, he has to be OP as hell. He has to be extremely strong. I think this one looks really good. Another one that she did, and this one makes perfect sense. You're talking Blaster into a Charizard. I mean, the wings and the coloring is so good on this, but this one looks like it fits because this looks like something you just see straight out of Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, this one looks like it naturally could just be a Pokemon card. Like, they could have paid her to do an illustration of like a Pokemon card and release this, and the Pokemon fans wouldn't have complained at all because it looks so beautiful. Since she had Blaster as Charizard, it would only make sense to have Burner as Charmander. He's got the flame and tail. You can see he's spitting the fire. Charmander has always been like a fan favorite Pokemon and definitely one of the coolest ones. So this one looks absolutely gorgeous too. I believe she has one more. This might be my favorite out of this entire bunch. I kind of grew up in the golden age of Disney, as they call it, when Disney was making all 2D movies, you know, like The Lion King, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin. When all those movies were like coming out in theater, I was a kid then. And even though Sleeping Beauty was before my time, Malefic is my favorite Disney villain. I even loved her in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, Malefic is just... Man, I love Malefic so much. She's so evil and she's so deceptive and like methodical, and then it's like she turns into a freaking dragon. You know what I mean? Like, how much more awesome can you get out of a witch? This was like the perfect card to do this with, because that pose that Lila does with the hands out, like that looks like something that Maleficent would do. So this one was absolutely gorgeous. And again, this artist is actually deceased, so if you guys check out the DeviantArt page and you're on DeviantArt, you know, maybe leave a nice comment saying, you know, your pictures are really awesome or something like that. We have a tour guide. This is our third artist. We have a tour guide. This is the one where I believe actually she sells these, so you guys maybe check her out, send her a message if you're looking to buy some of these. I don't know what the prices are, so don't ask me. But we have a tour guide. We have the full collection of Pokemon. We have Ash, Pikachu, and the Charizard. I always remember, like, those are kind of like the biggest Pokemon as far as like the reasons why Ash won events, especially like later in the show when he got to some of the like harder gym leaders and stuff like that. So that one's definitely good. I always didn't like in Smash Brothers Brawl that they didn't make the Pokemon trainer. They should have just named him Ash. We have a Bujin Simryu as Epona and Link. This one makes a lot of sense because Simryu kind of looks like it kind of looks like a horse already, you know what I mean? I think it's a horse, but to transform it into Epona, put Link on there, that definitely looks good. And I like that every time I find an alternate art that has Link, it always has Navi in there. If you are a big fan of Zelda, you know, you're definitely going to remember Navi from like the Ocarina of Time. This one is absolutely beautiful. Next up, we have more Pokemon. We have Solemn Judgment, and I like how Mewtwo has his hand out. Like, I remember from the first Pokemon movie where Mew and Mewtwo were kind of fighting. You have Ash in the background, kind of just like, oh man, I don't know if he's scared or if he's trying to like stop them or what. It looks like they're about to team up to fight somebody. I'm just gonna be honest, I wouldn't want to be whoever Mewtwo and Mew are collectively fighting. I wouldn't want to be that other person. Like, you have to be some fucking like Super Saiyan 3 Goku type shit to beat these two at the same time. Mewtwo and Mew are like definitely real. We have more Legend of Zelda. Of course, this is Link with Navi. I feel like my stroke is, it's a good card to alternate art. It's much like Gear Giant X because, I mean, you don't even have enough time in the day to list the iconic, you know, swordsmen of anime and action and comic books and stuff like that, and of course swords women, because there are lots of good women who use swords, like from Attack on Titan and Claymore and yada yada yada. Definitely think that anything with Link on it is like that gets an automatic thumbs up from me being a huge Legend of Zelda fan. This one is something I didn't see coming, and this is absolutely beautiful, because if you would have told me that you could have turned a Master of Blades into a Twisted Fate from League of Legends, I'd have been like, what? So this is Twisted Fate. For those of you who play League of Legends, like I recently have, you will notice this, and it looks beautiful. Twisted Fate is, like, it's crazy. You know, they put his difficulty up high, but then you watch some of the pro players, and they make this dude look like a goddamn god. So I've never used him. I know that he's a mage, and I prefer to use like fighters. So, you know, I don't want to have to worry about magic and all that good stuff. This man. This was a perfect transformation to turn Ghost Trick Jack Frost into Majin Buu. Just Fat Buu was such a lively, and man, it's really hard to describe him. He was just full of life and full of joy. This was like the perfect anime character to use for like Ghost Trick Jack Frost. It looks perfect, and honestly, this entire arc was just, it was hilarious. Like I love this. I just recently finished it like 2 weeks ago. The Buu arc of, you know, Kid Buu, Super Buu, Fat Buu, well, Majin Buu, like it was amazing, and this artwork is just as amazing. Next up, we have more Dragon Ball Z, and actually more Ghost Trick into Dragon Ball Z. We have a Zhangxi that is Gohan. Obviously, he's you see that he's juggling the Dragon Balls, and it looks like he's dropped them. You can tell that it's definitely Gohan because of the outfit. He has the little tail. This is like pre-Raditz, or kind of like the Raditz era. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love Gohan. This was like the only time in the show where I found him to be like, I found him to just be an awful character. Like all he did was cry, and I was like, can Raditz just kill him and we just do the whole show without him? I mean, I loved him after that when Piccolo started training them and everything until the end of the show, but during this time I couldn't stand Gohan. I just, if he would have died, I'd have been like, all right, that's cool. Now, this one is from Dragon Ball GT. I haven't actually seen a lot of GT. Like, the amount of GT knowledge that I have wouldn't fill a damn 8-ounce cup of water or so. Like, it wouldn't fill, you know, a 12-ounce soda can. But I believe that is Vegeta. He's definitely in his, like, the Great Erozu or whatever form, the giant monkey form. And I think he gets taken over by Baby, who's like a big villain in the beginning of Dragon Ball GT. I don't know if he's in, I don't think he's in SS4 right here, because I don't think he hit SS4 until the end of the show. So he might be in like SS3. I have no idea how he became the giant ape, but this artwork is amazing. And it's not just that the art on Vegeta, well, Baby Vegeta, itself looks good, but look at the background. I believe this entire arc like happened in space or something, on some like crazy planet, because Goku's like a kid or something like that. Again, the whole plot line of like GT, especially in the early, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that this is Baby Vegeta. That's what they call the character. Let's go down. We got a couple more. Okay, you can never get enough Dragon Ball Z. And to turn Michael, this one makes sense too. You have little Goku. This is probably from Dragon Ball, riding on top of damn, what's the dragon of Earth? Shenron. Yes, Shenron is the dragon of Earth. Purunga is the dragon of Namek. So, and this was Shenron. This is when Shenron was still like cool. I know in GT he turns into like a dick and tries to kill everybody, but this is when Shenron was definitely like still cool. So, definitely think that one's amazing. Let's scroll down. Where did we leave off? And I believe that this is actually our last one. Whoa, we're not trying to zoom in. And of course, we got AOT, Attack on Titan. My second favorite character in the series, definitely Mikasa Ackerman. And we have Potato Girl, and he's giving her a potato. I think that if you look at Solemn Warning and then you put it side by side to this card, it just looks so good. It just looks so good. Like, it perfectly works. So guys, that's the end of the artwork. I really do hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching, as always.